Right, I'm going to do a quick tutorial on how to do pseudo 3D, is the best way to word it. In this tutorial we're going to use text, the 3D tool and the perspective tool. So first off, let's create our text. So to make it simple, some text. Scale it up, so if you highlight it, double click and scale up something quite large. As we see, we've got the font's not brilliant, so let's just change that to something maybe a little bit thicker to give us some room to play. So Arial black would do fine. Okay, secondly, we need to transform this into, give it some sort of perspective to make it look a bit more 3D. So start with the 3D block tool and create a block. So while doing this, so we need to move this out a little bit to make it look a bit more realistic. And although we're not going to actually use this block ourselves, we're going to use it as a guide to create the perspective text. So we need to create this perspective box first off. Firstly, we need to select our Bezier tool, or Bezier, however you pronounce it. And for perspective, we need to create a box, a frame. We always start on the bottom left hand corner. So using the 3D block as a guide, create our perspective square. So we can actually move the block out of the way now because we just want the square. So we have to do something with the text first off to make sure it works, and we need to create an object to path. So we need to turn it into a path. That's that done. So select the text, select the box, extensions, modify path, and perspective. So we now have the text in a perspective format. So let's we don't want to actually separate that, so let's move the text out of the way a little bit. Delete that, we don't need it anymore. Now we're going to create a pseudo 3D. So we're actually going to change the colour to a lighter grey. And now pressing ctrl D to duplicate, we're going to shift it a little and repeat as many times as needed. So ctrl D again, ctrl D again. Well, for ctrl D I must have pressed something else. So ctrl D again, shift, ctrl D, shift, ctrl D. And as you see, we're creating, it's moving out. Now the final one that's selected, we want to change the colour, so we can change it to white, red, or whatever colour we want really. White I think makes the impact. So if we select all of this and Ctrl G for group, using the box as a background, we've actually created our pseudo 3D text. So if you move in, notice the shadows, the block, there we have it, 3D text.